This past week, I went to Summerville, Salkehatchie. We stayed at Bethany United Methodist Church. I was on Site 6, which was Officer Milhouse's house. He was a legend in Summerville. He was one of the first black African Americans to be an officer there. At Salkehatchie this year, I worked on the roof and on the ceiling. I scraped off popcorn and replaced the popcorn. On the roof, I tore off shingles, tar paper, and we had to replace it with a membrane. Membrane is something that's usually found on commercial buildings like Walmart, Target, something like that. Few houses rarely have it. Being at that site was very impacting. Being around Mr. Milhouse was always good. Always being around Officer Milhouse brought joy to me. He was fun to talk to. You could carry on a conversation with him, and he was easily able to connect with. We would talk about sports, what he did for a living, his family. It was all good things. Whenever he left, it was just hard to let him go. He was a really good man. Through the week, my relationship with Jesus Christ grew stronger. We sung songs, we did fellowship, listened to testimony, devotion. It was led by Jamin, who did a very good job speaking and singing his songs. Through the week, every day went by and I could just feel myself getting closer and closer, and by the end of the week I just felt the presence of the Holy Spirit inside me. It was a great feeling, a kind of indescribable feeling, and when I left I definitely had it in me and I wanted to just keep it thriving, keep it going. At the end of the week, on Friday, we were able to celebrate Mr. Milhouse's birthday. It was a very rare situation, but it was also very spiritual. We sung songs, we wished him happy birthday, and we kind of saw a side of Mr. Milhouse most people said they'd never seen before. When Mr. Milhouse blew out the candles, he wished for something, but he didn't keep it quiet. He said it out loud.
I wish that I could see this family every day of the year, and I hope them God's blessing, and I hope they continue to serve the way they're serving. And I wish that the whole world could see this group here today, and then they would know how God's love is spread. And we talk about the first commandment, love your neighbor as yourself, so you already have done it.
I could not have asked for a better first year of Salkehatchie, and I cannot wait to go back next year. And those of you who are watching who have not been, you have to go. You need to go. That is very important. And even with Salkehatchie being over, I've still learned that to help others, and that is the right thing to do. It's just walking down the street and just see someone that needs help with something. It's just an instinct now to help them. That's what Salkehatchie has taught me, and I'm sure if you go, it will teach you too.
I went to Rivertown, Salkehatchie, and Conway, and besides all of the fun and friends and fellowship, it's such a humbling experience, and it just really makes you appreciate everything that God's blessed you with. Like, we have a home and a house to go home to, and a warm bed to climb into, and legs to get us there, and not everybody has that, and it really makes you appreciate everything that you have.
My Salkehatchie experience has such neat connections with it. First and foremost, I went to Summerville, my hometown, where I grew up since I was 3, and also we stayed at Bethany United Methodist Church, which was my home church, where even I met my husband as of today. Salkehatchie is something that I've always wanted to do, knew about it all my life, but to actually experience it on the 10th year anniversary of the Summerville Salkehatchie made it even more special. The Site 6 that we were on, of course, I was able to be with my son Hal, and was advised not to, but we did real well because I worked inside and he worked on the roof. Inside was a gift. It was a an incredible blessing to be in Officer Milhouse's home, where I do know the family. I grew up with this family as well, his youngest son, Ronald. And Officer Milhouse kept us safe at all the football games, and he escorted us all the way to football games, and he kept us safe in hometown and, of course, kept us out of trouble. But being in that site was such a connection, because I didn't know the family, but yet able to give back to him as such a predominant officer in our little hometown. He lost his wife 2 years ago, and to redo his home that he did not want to touch for 2 years because of the just grief that he felt for the loss of Emily was amazing. That he allowed us to come in and renew his feelings for his home and to let go of Emily in a way that not letting go of her, but yet moving on and living life to the fullest. That's what Christ would want us to do. So our goal was, in my heart, was to allow him to move on and press on, but yet get the love of a daddy at the same time. Salkehatchie is amazing. If you're an adult out there and has not experienced it, and your heart is pulling at any form of just mission work that is here, you need to go. You need to go because of the youth that you see the hope of, with their spiritual background, their spiritual walk with Christ is so fulfilling, and there's so much hope. And yet they also just doing for others, being the hands and feet of Christ and living that out for a whole week. I can't wait till next year. I cannot wait to the potential Salkehatchie that we'll have here at Blaine, but yet just amazed at what God can do when you just say yes.
I do believe that one day God will make a way, and he'll come back. All you have to do is wait on him. He'll come.
We enjoyed working for you.
And I enjoy seeing you all too. You made my week.
We're blessed to.
Because I usually be around here, looking at television, or somebody will come in and we'll talk for a while, But just knowing that you all were around, it has certainly been a blessing.